20 animals, zero water bill. Not a slogan, a documented setup running on gravity, stored rainwater, and one $50 valve. This video breaks down how families on small acreage cut their water cost to nothing, and where it fails if you skip a step. Rainwater harvesting, a standard roof, collects roughly 600 gallons for every 1,000 square feet per inch of rainfall. A typical barn roof, 2,400 square feet, pulls almost 1,500 gallons from 1 inch of rain. The setup is gutters, or a first flush diverter to dump the dirty initial runoff, a screen to keep out leaves, and a storage tank. Materials run $200 to $400 for a basic system feeding a single tank. The failure mode: skip the first flush diverter, and the first water into your tank is roof grit, bird droppings, and asphalt residue. That tank needs draining and scrubbing before it's usable again. Gravity-fed systems: gravity does the work a pump would otherwise do, and it doesn't break down. A storage tank set on a stand 10 feet above the trough delivers about 4.3 pounds per square inch of pressure, enough to fill a trough through standard half-inch pipe without a single moving part. No pump, no electricity, no failure mode tied to a power outage. The trade-off is location. The water source has to sit physically higher than every point it serves, which usually means a hillside spring, an elevated cistern, or a water tower built from a used IBC tote on a wood platform. Underground lines below the frost line keep it running through winter. Above-ground lines without insulation freeze solid by January in most northern climates. Plan the route before you dig. Mobile troughs and rotational watering systems: a single fixed trough in a rotational grazing system creates one problem every time. Animals camp near the water, and that one spot turns to mud and bare dirt within a season. Moving the trough with the herd solves it. A polystock tank on a skid, or mounted on an old utility trailer, can be repositioned in under 10 minutes when the herd shifts paddocks. Quick connect garden hose fittings let the water line follow without tools. The math: a herd of 10 cows on 6 paddocks with one mobile trough costs around $150 in tank, skid, and fittings, once. A fixed trough at each of 6 paddocks costs 6 times that. The honest trade-off is labor. Someone has to physically move it every few days. And on a farm running on one person's time, that's the cost that doesn't show up in dollars. Springs, ponds, and natural water sources: a spring, producing even 1 gallon per minute, delivers over 1,400 gallons a day, more than enough for a herd of 20. The first step before relying on one is measuring actual flow with a bucket and a stopwatch, not estimating it. Most states require registering water rights for any spring or pond used for livestock, so check with the local extension office before building anything permanent. Fencing the edges of a pond, leaving one graveled access ramp instead of open shoreline, keeps animals from breaking down the banks and turning the water cloudy with sediment and manure. A floating intake, a length of pipe with a foam float keeping it a foot below the surface, pulls cleaner water than a fixed pipe sitting on the bottom. The failure mode here is algae. Warm, slow-moving pond water without enough depth or shade turns green by midsummer, and blue-green algae blooms can be toxic to livestock. Depth and partial shade prevent it. A stagnant, sun-baked pond under 4 feet deep does not. Water-saving systems: waste shows up in 3 places: evaporation, leaks, and animals fouling water they won't then drink. A covered trough cuts evaporation loss by roughly 70% compared to an open one, and keeps direct sunlight off the water, which slows algae growth at the same time. For poultry, nipple drinkers replace open pans entirely. Birds peck a metal nipple for a drop of water on demand instead of standing in an open dish, virtually zero spillage, and zero water sitting open to grow bacteria. A 20-bird flock on nipple drinkers uses a small fraction of the water a flock on open pans goes through, mostly because open pans get walked through, slept in, and defecated in, and then dumped and refilled. Frost-free waterers for cattle use a small insulated reservoir and a frost-free hydrant valve below ground. No heating element, no electric bill, and no cracked trough from a hard freeze. The honest cost is up front. A quality frost-free waterer runs $300 to $600 installed. Leak detection is the cheapest fix on this list and the most skipped. A float valve stuck half open can run for weeks unnoticed, and a slow drip at 2 gallons an hour adds up to over 17,000 gallons a year, gone, with nothing to show for it. Checking every float valve monthly costs nothing but 5 minutes. The Amish roof collection system: Amish farms without grid electricity built their water systems around storage, not supply, decades before rainwater harvesting became a trend. The common setup links several food-grade IBC totes, each holding 275 gallons, in a row, manifolded together with PVC at the base, so they fill and drain as one unit. 4 totes in a bank store 1,100 gallons from a single roof, enough to carry 20 animals through 10 to 14 days without a drop of new rain. Some farms go further and bury a poured concrete cistern beneath the barn floor, holding 3,000 gallons or more, fed by the same gutters and first flush system, with gravity doing the distribution to every trough downhill. A DIY tote bank costs roughly $600 to $1,000 in used totes, fittings, and a simple wood or block platform. A buried concrete cistern costs several $1,000s and usually needs a contractor. The honest trade-off. Totes degrade under UV exposure within 5 to 7 years if left uncovered and need shade or a coat of UV-blocking paint to last longer than that. How smart farmers use shade heat does more to a water bill than people expect. A dairy cow drinking 3 to 4 gallons per 10 degrees of body weight under normal conditions can nearly double that intake once temperatures pass 85 degrees and she's standing in full sun. University extension trials comparing shaded and unshaded pasture have measured 10 to 20% lower water consumption in herds with consistent shade access, simply because the animals aren't drinking to cool down, they're drinking to meet normal needs. A permanent shade structure, 8 by 20 feet of corrugated roofing on posts, runs $300 to $500 in materials and covers enough ground for a small herd to rotate through. Where trees already exist, fencing a buffer around them costs less than building anything and gives the same benefit. The mistake most new farms make is placing water troughs in full sun next to the shade structure instead of inside it. Animals seek the shade and leave the trough behind, then walk the long way back to drink less often than they should. The $50 float valve without a float valve, every trough gets filled the same way. Someone watches a hose and shuts it off or forgets to. A standard agricultural float valve, the same mechanism used in a toilet tank scaled up for livestock, costs $35 to $50 and threads directly into a half-inch line. It shuts the flow the moment the trough reaches set level and reopens automatically as animals drink it down. The math on what it replaces, a trough left running unattended for even 15 minutes on a half-inch line wastes close to 75 gallons. Multiply that by a farm hand filling 6 troughs a day and forgetting one occasionally, and the monthly waste runs into the thousands of gallons. Water that was pumped, hauled, or stored for nothing. The valve pays for itself inside the first month on a well with a pump running off the farm's electric bill, and inside the first season on a gravity or rainwater system, where the water itself is free, but the storage capacity isn't. The one maintenance point. The rubber seat inside wears out after 2 to 3 years and needs replacing, or the valve drips constantly instead of ceilings. Smaller watering stations. One large trough feels efficient. In practice, it concentrates every animal's hooves on one patch of ground every single day, and that patch stops growing grass within a season. 3 smaller stations spread across the same pasture, 50-gallon tubs instead of one 300-gallon trough. Spread that same wear over 3 locations instead of one, and cut the average walking distance for any animal in the herd by more than half. Less walking means less energy spent getting to water, which on a dairy or growing herd translates to slightly better feed conversion, though that's a secondary benefit, not the main one. The main one is herd behavior. Dominant animals can guard one trough and keep weaker or younger animals away from it for stretches of the day. 3 stations make that much harder to pull off. The trade-off is float valves and lines. 3 connection points to maintain instead of one, and 3 smaller stations to check rather than a single large one. For a herd under 15 animals, this usually still nets out cheaper than the cost of regrading and reseeding the mud pit one large trough leaves behind. The farm pond system, a pond used for year-round watering, needs depth before anything else. Anything shallower than 8 feet in a cold climate risks freezing solid to the bottom in a hard winter, cutting off access entirely instead of just needing the ice broken each morning. At 8 feet or more, even a long freeze leaves liquid water below the ice line. The setup that protects both the pond and the herd keeps animals out of the water itself. A fenced buffer around the bank, one graveled access point if direct access is allowed at all, and ideally a nose pump or a gravity-fed pipe running to a trough set back from the edge. A nose pump, a mechanical pump an animal operates by pressing its nose on a lever, costs around $200 to $300 and needs no electricity, while keeping manure and hoof traffic away from the water source entirely. The honest failure point is winter ice damage to the pipe itself. Any line running from pond to trough needs to sit below the frost line or get drained before the first hard freeze, or it cracks the first time it's needed. How to calculate how much water. Most farms guess at water needs and either overbuild storage or run short in August. The actual numbers are documented and simple. A dairy cow drinks 8 to 20 gallons a day, depending on milk output and temperature. A beef cow runs 6 to 15 gallons. A goat or sheep needs 2 to 3 gallons. A laying hen drinks roughly half a pint a day, but a flock of 20 still adds up to 1.5 gallons. Multiply each animal's daily number by the days of storage needed between refills. A tote bank holding 10 days of water for a herd of 10 cows at 12 gallons each needs 1,200 gallons minimum, not the 1,100 gallons 4 totes provide. The mistake almost every new farm makes is sizing storage off the average day instead of the hottest day. A 95-degree week can push consumption 40% above baseline, and that's the number storage needs to be built around. Not the spring afternoon when the totes got installed. 4. Solar-powered backup pumps gravity and rainwater cover most of a system, but every setup eventually hits a spot water won't reach on its own, a pond at the bottom of a slope, or a trough sitting higher than the storage tank. A small solar pump, or the 12-volt type used for off-grid livestock watering, moves 200 to 400 gallons a day on a sunny afternoon, enough to refill an elevated tank without running a power line across a pasture. A basic kit, panel, pump, and a battery for cloudy days, costs $350 to $600 installed. It runs with no monthly bill once it's in the ground. The honest limitation: output drops sharply on overcast days and stops at night without a battery, so it works as a refill system for storage, not a direct, on-demand line to a trough. Skip the battery to save money, and a 5-day stretch of clouds in November leaves the tank exactly where it started. None of these systems alone gets a farm to zero. Rainwater harvesting without gravity distribution still needs a pump. A spring without fencing turns into a mud pit. A float valve without storage capacity behind it just runs the well harder. The farms running 20 animals without a water bill are stacking 4 or 5 of these at once. Storage that doesn't depend on the grid, distribution that doesn't depend on a pump, and waste cut at every point an animal or a forgotten valve could lose water. Total investment across a full setup like this typically lands between $800 and $1,500, built over a year or two rather than all at once. The return isn't dramatic on paper. Most of these systems save a few $100s a year directly on a well and pump farm, and replace a water bill that didn't exist in the first place on a rural property with its own well. The real return is reliability. A power outage, a dry spell, or a frozen pipe stops being an emergency because the water was never depending on just one source to begin with.